Hey, this is Ray with Sober Without God, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to beat alcohol cravings. And if this is your first time to the channel, welcome, and please leave a like and subscribe and share it with your friends. If this helps you out, I'm 2.5 years alcohol free, and I know one of the things that I had difficulty with in the beginning, and it still creeps up on me, is beating those alcohol cravings. If you're looking for a place where you can go and get some help in the alcohol free community, I strongly suggest the Reframe app, which you can get on your phone. And I'll leave a link below where you can find that online and find a link to your phone. And I strongly recommend it. It has a great place for community, for forums, for scientific help, and I think you'll really enjoy it if you get into it. That's what saved my life, was the Reframe app. But I want to talk today about how to beat alcohol cravings, because especially in the first 3 days, in the first week, in the first 3 months, they keep creeping up over and over again. And sometimes it just feels like you are not going to beat alcohol addiction. And it's a very hard process to go through. And I want to share some of the things that worked for me, and they may not work for everybody. Again, the Reframe app has a lot of things on there that can help you fight alcohol addiction. One of the things that helped me that I hadn't planned to talk about was community. I found people on the app who I talk to, who I'm accountable to, who help me when I have a problem, and having someone there that you can talk to. And I even had a coach on the Reframe app who I talked to for a few months, who helped me through one of the hardest part of my sobriety journey. And I cannot stress, and I always stress on this channel, the power of community. And if you can get into a community of people who will pull you through and help you through, and people who are going through the exact same problem you are, it will make a world of difference. But the first really real thing I want to talk about is meditation. And I used to laugh all day long at people who did meditation. And I thought it was a bunch of woo woo, weirdo, crazy stuff that people did, closing their eyes and chanting and doing all kinds of weird stuff. But that's not what it is. And off the top, let me recommend to you a free app on your phone that you can get called Insight Timer. And like I said, it's a free app, and they have introduction to meditation courses, and it's a lot of relaxation, closing your eyes, catching up with yourself, catching up with your brain, and just relaxing and letting go, and finding out where you're tense, finding out where you're anxious, and just taking time out in your day just for you. And a lot of it is linked to your breathing and your central nervous system. And if you're having a craving in a moment, a lot of it is linked to what you're feeling at that moment, and what your body is going through, and what your mind is going through, that mind body connection. And nothing can be more important in that moment than healing that mind body connection. And believe it or not, if you can slow down for a few minutes during your day and heal that mind body connection, it can be as easy as taking that moment and relaxing and listening to your heart and your mind and your body, and just letting it out. And doing that on a daily basis, or doing it every couple of days, and taking time out just for you. Because if you're not doing sobriety for you, then who are you doing it for? So take time out to meditate. Take time out to just listen to your body. And along those lines, I it will recommend that you do breathing exercises. And I worked at a period of time in the school with some at-risk teens, and teens who suffered from panic attacks and some anxiety issues. And one of the things that I learned about, and I can leave a link below, is something that I heard people say this all the time. Like, the Navy SEALs use this. Well, I understand that Navy SEALs actually use breathing techniques. I won't say what breathing techniques the Navy SEALs use, but one of the things that I heard they use, but I use it, it's called 4x4 breathing. And if you type in 4x4 breathing on YouTube, you will come across a breathing technique. And if you're way up here and you're anxious and you're having an urge, or you're anxious about anything, I mean, my goodness, who isn't anxious, especially after COVID? If you're way up here and you're anxious, you can do something called 4x4 breathing. And it's as simple as breathing in for 4 seconds, holding it for 4 seconds, letting it out for 4 seconds, holding it for 4 seconds, breathing in again for 4 seconds, and repeating that cycle over and over again for about 3 minutes. And that actually has a physiological response, and it will lower your heart rate. I've seen kids, and I'll have them on a pulse oximeter that you put on the end of your finger. I've watched their pulse rate drop from as high as 127 beats a minute down to 80 beats a minute. And it actually tells your body, hey, we are regulating our breathing, and we are going to calm down in this moment, and we are going to take control over this situation. Breathing exercises can be so important. And there's a lot of other breathing exercises out there. There's something, if you want to get into, that's really interesting. It's called Yoga Nidra. And Yoga Nidra is a whole different world. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, go check that out. And that's a good leeway into something else that I did that I never thought in a million years I would do, which is yoga. I was on a Reframe meeting one day, and I heard a woman talking about how she was looking forward to doing yoga by the lake. And I just laughed and laughed. And I thought, who in the world would be doing yoga by the lake? How dumb is that? And then I thought, maybe I should try it. Maybe I should just try doing some yoga. And I got online, and one of the most popular practitioners of yoga is a woman called Adrienne. I also found a woman called Yoga with Bird. And I started doing yoga. And I started going through the motions at first. And I thought, I'll give this a shot. And it slowed my mind down. It got me flexible. But really, it had more of effect on my brain than anything else, and my heart and my soul. It really just calmed me down. And there were days when I was super stressed and not mellow at all. But yoga got me from here all the way down to here. And there were days I just could not wait to do some kind of yoga. And I still incorporate yoga or some kind of stretching in my day every single day to get through my day. And it has made a difference. In fact, I'll say that, I cannot imagine a day without some kind of yoga or some kind of stretching, because it centers me and it gets me to a point to where I can focus just for a few minutes on me and my body and what I'm doing for that day. So I would recommend it. Do it in the privacy of your own home. No one has to know you're doing it. Just I would strongly recommend that. Another thing that you might have seen people doing, if you're going through a craving, if you're just in that panic mode, and I've got to have a drink. I've got to absolutely have to have a drink right now, and I'm craving it, is do the thing with your senses. So stop for a moment. If you can't find anything else to distract you, do the exercise, and you may have heard about it, where you think about 5 things. What are 5 things I can see right now? Think about 5 things I can see. Well, I can see my lawyer up license plate. I can see my name over here on that my grandfather made me. I can see my Funko Pop. I'm getting all confused because it's back before me. Over here, I can see my posters. So name 5 things you can see, and that focuses you on your sight. Then think about 4 things you can touch. So I can touch my chair, I can touch my shirt. You get the idea. And then think about 3 things you can hear, and that gets you thinking about your sense of hearing. 3 things that you can hear in the moment, and that really focuses you in because you have to think about the things around you that you can hear. And then think about 2 things you can smell. What are 2 things you can smell? And that'll really focus you in. And then think about 1 thing that you can taste. And you may have some Mexican food lingering in your mouth from lunch or um, something something crazy like that. And once you go through that series of events, that'll help focus you. It'll distract you from your craving, and it'll get your mind and your body down for a few minutes and down from urge and back down grounded into your reality of who you want to be and away from alcohol. So anything you can do to distract, anything you can do to get through those moments, and especially in the first 3 days in that first week, find exercises you can do to get you away from those urges that you'll come across. And like I said, the Reframe app has lots of options, distractions, things you can do to keep your hands and your mind and your heart busy when you're going through those urges. So I hope those things helped you out today. Um, and stick around this channel for lots of tips if you're struggling, especially early on. And I'll be here, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Take care.